So the technology tool that I'm going to share with you is called Wunderlist. Wunderlist specializes in exactly what it says, which is creating lists. It's a dedicated app to lists. And as such, it has some unique functions that kind of make it a little different than perhaps using the list features that you might see in Evernote, which is another one of the tech tools that I included in my playlist. The checklist is a little bit different in that it can be broken down into detailed subtasks, and I'm going to show that to you. And that it can work well in conjunction with standard operating procedures, because quite often standard operating procedures lend themselves to a checklist that in order to ensure that you have each of those steps you can easily check off. This is really a Microsoft driven application. However, it is able to be used in on other platforms. It's able to be used in Windows, Mac, Android, iPhone, iPad, web, but it really is a Microsoft product. What I found, and I'm not able to share that with you here because it was part of my sign up and get familiar with process. When I went to do a sign up for this, it asked me to use a Microsoft account, which I do have a personal Microsoft account, but we also have one through the university. So I did use that authentication where it wanted to send it back out to FHSU in order to verify. It ended up doing also a second verification where I had to put my phone number in. It gave me a code. I put that in. So the sign up process for that is a little bit more complicated than perhaps the other applications that you may be used to. So I just kind of want to forewarn you that. But once I created it, it was very easy to get into a very similar dashboard to what we're used to seeing. Again, Wunderlist is specific to being able to be made for lists. My purpose for this was to allow users to be able to collaborate, also to assign tasks and log to-dos and to keep a team in sync. I have an adult workforce setting, and the workforce development part entitles that I need to have my co-workers and teams working together collaboratively on tasks. That can be a challenge at times because it is a 24/7, 365 operation, and we have multitudes of shifts that work. However, the tasks and the lists that are there need to be completed over a 24-hour period of time. So that means that tasks and things need to be shared. The standards that I was looking at to meeting for this application had to do with being kind of the analyst, in that we're to understand and use data to drive instruction and support achieving learning goals. And in specifics, this provides an alternative way for the learners or workers to demonstrate competency and reflect the use of this technology. Also, it's about collaboration, and as collaborators, they're able to use these tools to expand authentic real-world experiences and engage virtually with expert teams and locally and globally. And as I said, it's really a great tool for keeping these teams in sync. So I went ahead. It's very easy to add a new to-do. So you could use this to create any kind of list and then be able to mark those things off. I started something called a take two for safety, which is something that we do use in our organization. Before they start any kind of job, they should be looking at stopping before they jump in to fix something and look at all the things that they should be considering to ensure that we have a safe work environment. We really pride ourselves on our safe work record, and a lot of it does have to do with taking two for safety. So part of those take twos have to do with making sure that they're aware of where the nearest medical facility is and what the phone number is, should they have to call it. They need to inspect their surroundings. And so I started generating that to-do list. But part of the thing I really like about this is that I can dig a little bit deeper into this task. And by double clicking on it, I can set dates for it. So here's where collaborating with teams really work well. And then I can set reminders. I can add a subtask to it. So if there's something that digs a little deeper to that, or maybe there's a note that needs to be added. So the guy on third shift needs to add a note so that the person coming in on first or second shift knows what's going on. That's really beneficial. I like that you can just drop and add a file that's into it. So there's a lot of, by this being a dedicated list application, it offers up a lot more flexibility to it. In addition, you can see I can share that and I can add whoever I want to